Mm-hmm. $39.90 off a model year 1025R loader and auto connect mower dock. Or if you're looking for a little more power, take $5,100 off our 3025E compact tractor with loader package. Plus, they both come equipped with our Land Pro Promise warranty covering extra peace of mind. Stop by your local Land Pro today or build your own dream at AmperEquipment.com.
Four Dozen Roses can be beautiful, but pink. And I want the guests to smell flowers, not paint. Aspercreme Dry Spray with Love. Sprays on, instantly dry. No greasiness, no odor. All they smell are roses. Aspercreme Dry Spray. My friends keep me on the go, even when my back pain says stop. Aspercreme Warming Patch. Medicated warming that's not bulky. Relieves pain up to 8 hours with no odor. All you smell is fresh air. Aspercreme Warming Patch and Gel.
This is Life with Lisa Lane. Sunday at 10 on CNN.
California's Democratic governor has just signed a new law allowing college athletes to make money off their own name and image. And this move could mean big money for some student athletes, opening the door for lucrative endorsement deals typically seen only in professional sports. Governor Gavin Newsom says California is at the forefront of the national movement and chided colleges for profiting off of their players. And in a statement, the NCAA is actually slamming this law for, quote, creating confusion. The NCAA says it's looking into next steps. What will those be? We do not know. But the new rules will take effect in 2023 if they survive the expected legal challenge. I'm Brianna Keeler. Thank you so much for watching. Aaron Burnett out front starts now.
Out front next, breaking news, Rudy Giuliani slapped with a subpoena ordered to hand over documents central to the impeachment investigation. But will the president's personal attorney actually cooperate? Plus, sounding the alarm, Trump's advisors now warning the president it is likely he will be impeached. This as frustration grows over Trump's obsession with a conspiracy theory. And Democrats under pressure tonight. Is the impeachment push putting their jobs in jeopardy? Let's go out front. Good evening, everyone. I'm Poppy Harlow in tonight for Aaron Burnett. And out front, breaking news. Rudy Giuliani has been subpoenaed. House Democrats just announcing they have subpoenaed the president's personal attorney for those documents related to Ukraine. Giuliani, of course, is at the center of the impeachment investigation, mentioned 31 times in that whistleblower complaint, described as, quote, a central figure in efforts to pressure Ukraine to interfere in the 2020 election. There are also growing questions tonight about another member of the president's inner circle. CNN is now learning that the Secretary of State, Mike Pompeo, was on that July 25th phone call when the president asked Ukraine's president to dig up dirt on Joe Biden. This comes as President Trump says he's trying to uncover the identity of the whistleblower.
Mr. President, do you now know who the whistleblower is, sir?
Well, we're trying to find out about a whistleblower. When you have a whistleblower that reports things that were incorrect.
Well, here's how an attorney for the whistleblower is responding tonight, tweeting, quote, the intel community whistleblower is entitled to anonymity. Law and policy support this, and the individual is not going to be retaliated against. Doing so is a violation of federal law. And let's not forget the president's own acting director of national intelligence just said such threats are out of line.
The Inspector General is properly protecting the complainant's identity and will not permit the complainant to be subject to any retaliation or adverse consequences for communicating the complaint to the Inspector General.
But this is a president that is lashing out as the impeachment pressure mounts, throwing almost every defense he can against the wall to see what sticks, tweeting more than a dozen times over just the last 24 hours, suggesting the House Intelligence Chairman Adam Schiff be investigated and potentially arrested for treason, and warning of a civil war-like fracture if he is impeached. Let's go to Manu Rajan, who joins me live on Capitol Hill tonight. So Manu, let's begin with this. What more are you learning about the subpoena from Democrats to Giuliani?
Well, it's a rapidly escalating impeachment investigation that Democrats are pushing here on Capitol Hill, demanding these documents by October 15th. Everything that occurred that Giuliani may have had possession over from the beginning of the Trump administration until now. And just moments ago, Rudy Giuliani responded to this subpoena, tweeting that he would give it for appropriate consideration, but saying this raises significant issues, citing even attorney-client privilege. So we'll see if he ultimately complies. Democrats are warning if they do not get compliance with this subpoena, it will just add evidence to their push to that the Trump administration, the White House, the president himself, the Congress on this and other fronts. Now, this comes in the aftermath of several efforts by this newly formed investigative impeachment effort to try to get more documents, including the subpoenas that came out late last week to the State Department for documents related to this Ukraine matter, as well as the scheduled deposition with 5 State Department officials, including the president's former envoy to Ukraine, Kurt Volker, who's scheduled to come on Thursday. Also, someone who allegedly was involved with this effort with Rudy Giuliani. So Giuliani is still central to this push, but also a push on Capitol Hill to get that whistleblower to come before Congress. And tonight, the vice chairman of the Senate Intelligence Committee, Mark Warner, is raising serious concerns about the president's efforts, telling me today that the president's attacks against this whistleblower could have a chilling effect. He said that he's concerned about the whistleblower's safety. So we'll see where this goes from here. But Democrats believe that they want to push and get this investigation done in just a matter of weeks here.
Yeah, there's a reason there's a whistleblower statute and a reason that whistleblowers are protected now in this country. Manu, thank you very much for that reporting. Let's talk about it with Democratic Congressman Andre Carson of Indiana. He, of course, is a member of the Intelligence Committee. Good morning, sir, and thank you for being with me. It is your committee that is behind the subpoena for those documents from Rudy Giuliani. The president has, as you know, cited executive privilege over and over again to shield documents from making their way to Congress. Do you expect something to be different this time? Do you expect Rudy Giuliani to fully cooperate and hand over all those documents?
Well, as a former prosecutor and a lawyer, I would expect for Mr. Giuliani to understand this process. I would hope that he would act in a cooperative manner. If he is someone who is truly concerned about the preservation of our democracy and upholding our constitutional rights as members of Congress, he should be willing to cooperate.
You know, on Friday he said about your committee that it is not legitimate and it is a, quote, sad joke. And then he said this just yesterday on ABC This Week when he was directly asked, will he cooperate?
Will you cooperate with the House Intelligence Committee? I wouldn't cooperate with Adam Schiff. I think Adam Schiff should be removed.
That's your answer. You're not going to
I
cooperate.
didn't say that. I said I will consider it.
He did say that. But given that Giuliani might tell you at this point, Congressman, that the sky is not blue, how do you measure the value of what he says to you guys and what he turns over to your committee?
Well, Giuliani has a reputation of being a smart man, or he had a reputation of being a smart man. It seems more clear that Mr. Giuliani is impressionable. He's been hanging around Donald Trump, so he's flip-flopping just like the president. Again, my hope is that Mr. Giuliani will cooperate with the committee and understand that Chairman Schiff is an accomplished leader, a very thoughtful leader, a fellow prosecutor, might I add. And so I think that this is Mr. Giuliani's time to preserve what's left of his reputation and work in a cooperative manner with those of us on the Intel Committee.
It's interesting. You sound very hopeful. A, that Giuliani will cooperate, and B, that he will be forthcoming with you. I wonder, seeing how the Corey Lewandowski testimony went just a few weeks ago in public, the circus that was, frankly, if it would be more prudent for Democrats to question Rudy Giuliani in private.
It doesn't matter at this point. I think that the whole Trump administration has become a circus. So if you give them more cameras, you're going to get more theatrics, you're going to get more pageantry. We need to get to the facts. The Intel Committee is known to be disciplined, especially under the leadership of Chairman Schiff and previous chairs, known to be very disciplined. Matter of fact, we have a very talented staff of attorneys and former members of the intelligence community. And so those of us who serve as representatives, we take our job very seriously. We take our oath very seriously. And so what we want to do is make sure that the identity of the whistleblower is protected, and we want to get to the bottom of this. The call is Exhibit A, the complaint is Exhibit B, if you will, and we need a fuller picture of what happened and what is happening. And so those who are concerned, Republican and Democrat, urge your representatives to do the right thing and put pressure on the Trump administration to cooperate.
So here is one of the few remaining Democrats in the House who is not there yet on impeachment. Democratic Congressman Jeff Van Drew of New Jersey, who's one of the 12 left who doesn't support impeachment at this time. He explained why over the weekend. Listen to this.
The odds are very high that it's not going to bear any fruit. The odds are very high that this president will continue to be the president. The people of the United States of America are going to have an election now in a year. They can go ahead they desire to do so.
Congressman Carson, do you see any merit to that argument?
Well, I can't speak to his district, the culture of his district, his own personal philosophical views. I think that he's probably sensitive to one point that I can appreciate, and that is we still have work to do. We can walk and chew gum at the same time. The Trump administration has yet to deal with a comprehensive infrastructure bill that deals with the over 10,000 roads and bridges that had to be repaved and reconstructed. He has yet to address our educational woes in a very serious manner. He's yet to address our national security concerns in a serious manner that doesn't demonize Muslims and doesn't demonize immigrants and Latinos. And so there's much more work to do, but the work at hand calls for us in the House Intelligence Committee to protect the whistleblower and get to the bottom of this very serious allegation against the president.
So let's end on the whistleblower because your colleague, the chair of your committee, Adam Schiff, said he is hopeful that the whistleblower will testify before you pretty soon. The president said today he's trying to figure out who the whistleblower is. The whistleblower's attorney has responded saying that those attacks are, and what has been said are putting their client in danger. What's your read?
Well, we're going to do whatever we can to make sure that the identity of the whistleblower is protected. We're working with DNI Director McGuire to make sure the attorneys get the proper clearances, and so that justice is served. I would hope that this president does not act in a way that is reminiscent of a mob figure. And if he sees himself as such, he will be dealt with as such.
What does that mean?
It means that if he wants to be a gangster, then we're going to have to uphold the law and treat him like a gangster. He's already shown
Well, what
that
does
he's a
that mean you
tyrant.
would actually do?
He's already shown. We're doing what we're doing, investigating, issuing more subpoenas, making sure that he doesn't act like a gangster and use the seat of the presidency to continue to intimidate foreign leaders, to blackmail foreign leaders as it relates to the aid that they get from the U.S., to continually pollute all of the agencies and treat this very toxic work environment where people are afraid to come forth with whistleblowing complaints, and members of the cabinet administration as well are afraid to even challenge the president. That's a mob mentality, and those are certainly traits of a tyrant.
Congressman Andre Carson, we appreciate you coming on tonight. Thank you so much.
What a pleasure. Thank you.
Out front next, CNN has learned the president's advisors are warning him he is likely to be impeached. Is the president listening, though? Also, reports Attorney General Bill Barr held private meetings overseas in order to discredit America's own intelligence agencies when it comes to Russian interference. The reporter who broke that story tonight is out front. And a brand new poll shows more Americans in favor of impeachment, and there is a sharp rise among one group of voters, one that you might not expect. Next.
Saturdays happen. Pain happens. Aleve it. Aleve is proven better on pain than Tylenol. When pain happens, Aleve it. All day strong. Here's the thing about managing multiple clouds for your business. When you've got public clouds and private clouds and hybrid clouds, things can get a bit cloudy for you. But now, there's the Dell Technologies Cloud. Powered by VMware, a single hub for a consistent operating experience across all your clouds. That should clear things up.
What happens to a dream deferred? Does it dry up like a raisin in the sun? Or fester like a sore in your mind? Does it stink like rotten meat? Or crust and sugar over like a syrupy sweet? Maybe it just sags like a heavy load. Or does it explode?
Touchy feeling. Sweet.
It's no wonder everything seems a little better with the creamy taste of Philly. Made with fresh milk and real cream. It must be the Philly.
Looks like blue skies on the weekend for all you road trippers out there. Looks like traffic's gonna be smooth sailing.
everything else Cutco can do with WeatherTech.com.
Grow your media business at 2454 Abu Dhabi, your gateway to the Middle East and North Africa. Enjoy 0% corporate tax, 30% cashback rebate on productions, a full suite of media services, and state-of-the-art facilities. With zero license and registration fees for your first 2 years, our business development team will guide you through our simple setup process to get your business up and running. So get in on the action. Join us today.
Plants capture CO2. What if other kinds of plants captured it too? If these industrial plants had technology that captured carbon like trees, we could help lower emissions. Carbon capture is important technology, and experts agree. That's why we're working on ways to improve it, so plants can be a little more like plants.
Real steel. Find yours. Right now, double your run times. Buy any AK battery set and get the second battery half off. Battery power. Made by Steel. Find yours at steeldealers.com.
At Farmers Insurance, we know a thing or two because we've seen a thing or two. Even a less rubber ducky. I mean, this one, rubber ducky. What's about the broken cookie jar? Jam turkey, jammy bag.
What about monsters having accidents? I'm okay with it.
Depends. Did you cause the accident?
Cause an accident? How do you know all this stuff?
Just comes with experience. Yep. We are farmers. Bum, 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 bum.
Breaking news, White House aides are warning the president he faces a real likelihood of being impeached. The president's allies are growing concerned that he doesn't understand the gravity of this investigation and how quickly it is moving. Multiple sources close to the White House tell CNN tonight that the president is resisting help, convinced he doesn't need a formal team to handle impeachment. Caitlin Collins joins us out front. So what is the White House strategy as this thing ramps up?
I mean, so far you've seen the president just counterattack on Twitter and send these Republican lawmakers on TV to defend him. But there are people inside the White House who are questioning just how long that strategy is going to work. If you watch the president's allies who were on television yesterday, a lot of people didn't feel like they did anything to tamp down the criticism of the president's call with the Ukrainian president. But behind the scenes, the president has resisted these calls to form an impeachment response team to help him mount this aggressive defense. He's also hearing from people that his personal attorney, Rudy Giuliani, isn't doing him any favors with his slew of appearances either. But the president has also said he doesn't want to hire any additional attorneys right now because essentially he believes if he does either of those things, form that impeachment response team or hire more lawyers, he says it's going to make him look weak in this impeachment fight with Democrats. Now, people inside the White House are just wondering what their exact strategy is going to be. They're looking at the calendar, noting that it's been 6 days since the House Speaker Nancy Pelosi launched this inquiry, and essentially they feel like they've squandered their opportunity so far to shape the public opinion. Now, whether or not that changes is a question going forward, but right now, as we've seen today, the president has been more focused on questioning the identity of his whistleblower than he does seem to be on a defense strategy for impeachment.
There you go, Caitlin Collins. Thank you very much for that reporting. David Gergen is with us. He advised 4 U.S. presidents, including President Nixon, I should note. Vivian Salama, White House reporter for the Wall Street Journal, and Paul Rosenzweig, former senior counsel to Ken Starr. Of course, he was one of many former prosecutors who wrote that letter back in May, saying that they believe the president's actions described in the Mueller report amounted to obstruction of justice. Good evening, and David. Let me just begin with you before we get to this White House strategy or non-strategy. The breaking news tonight that the Secretary of State, Mike Pompeo, was on that July 25th phone call between President Trump and the president of Ukraine. What does that tell you?
It's been a head-spinning day, hasn't it?
It's only Monday, David.